How's it going, everyone? This is Fine Gaming Connoisseur, and welcome back to another game guide video for Mortal Online 2. Alright, so today I just want to talk a little bit about the updated flagging system that was introduced since version 1.0.2.7. As you can see on the title of the thread, made by community manager Robmo. So what I'm going to show you is a diagram that he put up. Okay, just wait for that diagram to load, and we'll enlarge it. Okay, so this diagram here shows what would happen if you perform certain actions towards different characters with different flags, social flagging. So we'll start from the right, where you see the player represented, where you as the player is represented by the blue rectangle. So if you attack, let's say you meet a player and you decide to attack them first. Okay, so you see the word attacks. Let's just pretend that you decide to attack them first. I.e., they did not attack you first, but you attacked them first. Okay, so in the first box, we see this red diamond, which is red with a question mark, with a bounty hunter target. So I think what has changed is that murderers are no longer automatically flagged as red, like it was back in MMO1. So back in MMO1, if you committed, I think, 5 murders, that is, you got 5 murder counts, then your name automatically becomes global red. So you become a global murderer, and everyone who sees you will see you as a red player. And so that's how it worked back in MMO1. However, in Mortal Online 2, with the introduction of the bounty hunter system, murderers with more than 5 murder counts are no longer shown as red to everyone. Instead, they will have a grey name, and they will have a symbol, like a murderer symbol, next to the nameplate to show that they're designated as murderers. That is, they have committed 5 murders, or they received 5 murder counts. Okay, so here in the first scenario, let's say you meet a grey with a murderer symbol. Okay, so in the first scenario, let's say you meet potentially a red. So if you meet a player and the player's name is red to you, that is, when you see it on your screen, it is red. And you attack that red player, then you will flag as a local grey. So that means the red target, the bounty hunter target, can freely attack you back because you attack them first. So you will flag local grey to them. To them, you will be shown as a local grey. That is, I think you'll be shown as a light grey. Your name will be light grey to them. However, if the player is not red, that is, they are not a bounty hunter target, then we go down to the next box, the next diamond, the orange diamond at the bottom. So if the player is not a red bounty hunter target, then the game will ask the question, is the player that you attacked first an orange war target? So this would be a player who is in a guild, an enemy guild, at war with your guild. So both of you are in a guild and both guilds are at war. And so if the answer is yes, that is, the player is a orange war target and you attack them first, then you will get a orange war combatant debuff, as shown to the left with the rounded rectangle. So when you get the war combatant debuff, the guards will, I think you will lose reputation, and the guards will attack you on sight. if I remember correctly. I think it may just be the guards attack you on sight, or you will lose reputation as well. I'm not too sure whether it's both or just one or the other, or whether it's just the guards attacking you. So if you attack them and they are an orange war target, then you will get this debuff. However, if the player is not a orange war target, then we go down to the next question that the game will ask: is the player a blue lawful target? So this would be a player who has not committed any crimes, and the player has not, is not criminal in any way. So if you attack a blue lawful target, you become a grey criminal, as shown in the dark grey rounded rectangle to the left. So when you have the grey criminal flag, everyone will see you as a global criminal, and anyone can attack you freely. However, this also brings up another point that I will address, that I will talk about. So if the player is not blue and they are not lawful, we go down to the next blue diamond at the bottom, which says, did you assault them first? So I think what this diamond here in the blue diamond at the bottom, I think this may be referring to a player who may be grey, a global grey, just like you would be if you attack a blue player. So I think this diagram is asking the question, did you assault them first? So I think this would be asking, did you assault a global grey criminal first? And if the answer is yes, then you will flag as a local grey to that player. So let's pretend that a player committed a crime and they turn grey criminal, and you happen to be in the area and you decide to attack them. And if you do, then you will flag local grey to that player. So that player can freely attack you back and kill you without penalty. However, only you will be flagged as local grey to them, no one else. So because it's to represent that you were the aggressor, even though the player is potentially be a grey criminal, but the game still has a system that looks at who attacked who first. Okay, so if the player that you attacked is none of these things, they are not red, that is, they are not a bounty hunter target, they are not a orange war target, they are not a blue lawful target, and you did not assault them first, then you will remain as a blue. So in this situation, it would likely be that the other player attack you first. So they would flag they would flag grey to you, and you can attack them back, but you would remain blue because you did not attack them first. Okay, so hope you follow what I'm saying, and hope this is understandable. And so now we look at the healing side of things. So back to the top left rectangle, that is you, the player. So let's say you decide to do some healing with a healing spell like minor healing or something like that towards another player. So if you look at the blue diamond down the bottom directly, the game would look at the player's flag, whether they are blue, that is a lawful player, a lawful character, or whether the player is in a guild, the same guild as you, or whether they're in the same alliance. And so if they are, then all three would be considered a lawful target. So if you heal them, then we'll go down to the next diamond. But we won't look at that yet. We're going to look at what happens if the player that you healed is none of these things. i.e. they're not blue, they're not in the same guild as you, they're not in the same alliance. If the answer is no, then you will turn global grey, criminal. Okay, so just bear that in mind. So now healing does take on a slightly different set of dimensions. You cannot just go around healing any blue player that you see, or any blue or guild member or alliance member that you see, unless you want to incur the consequences, which will move down to the next blue diamond. And so the game will look at what the player's flag is to you, how the player flags towards you. And so if the player is blue, or they're in the same guild as you, or they are in the same alliance as you, then the game asks the question, have they assaulted or been assaulted by a third party? Okay, so now this is the thing that you need to pay attention to, because if the player that you healed, whether the player is a blue or a guild member or an alliance member, if the player has assaulted another player, or they've been assaulted by a third party, another player, then if you heal that player, then you will flag as a local grey to the third party. Okay, so let's imagine for a minute that you are traveling in the wild and you come across a friend of yours. He could be blue, or a guild member, or an alliance member. And so they are in combat with two other players. So let's imagine for a moment that the player is blue, but for some reason they have engaged in combat with those two other players. So let's say the blue or guild member or alliance member assaulted those two players first, and you heal your friend who still happens to be blue, or a guild member or alliance member, then you will flag local grey to those two other players. And so that means those two other players can then freely attack you, because you healed your friend who just happens to have assaulted them. Or if your friend was assaulted by those two other players and you heal your friend, then you will also flag local grey to those two other players. Okay, so I think that's basically the change since this patch. So keep that in mind. That means you have to be very careful when you come across a blue or a guild member or an alliance member, because unless you know for sure that they do not engage in some sort of combat recently, that is to say they did not assault, they were not assaulted by a third party, you need to keep in mind, make sure that they were not involved in any combat action with a third party. So if the answer is no, they were not, they did not assault or been assaulted by a third party, then you will remain as a blue. So that is how it works. So it's quite, it can be a little bit confusing and complex at first, but if you think through it, it all makes sense. So this is a system designed to facilitate meaningful player interactions, and it governs in a way how encounters will play out. And so just keep that in mind. A lot of MO2 a lot of people who have been playing MO1 and MO2 for a long time, a lot of players who have been playing MO1 and MO2 for a long time will no doubt be familiar with the basics of how the flagging system works. However, I think with this patch, they've introduced this system where you have to check whether the player has been in some sort of combat action. So before you heal them, you need to just check that they have not been involved in combat in some way. But yeah, so this is how it works, and so I hope that you found this useful, and So do take some time to have a look at this diagram if you're still not sure. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave it in the comment section below, and I will try my best to answer those questions. Now, I do not plan to be an expert on the flagging system, so I don't guarantee that I can answer every question satisfactorily, but I will do my best. I am also learning as as time goes by. I'm also learning to understand how the flagging system works, because in MO2, I think SV does want to take this flagging system to the next level and expand on it and make it more engaging, more interesting, and more in depth. So there's every possibility that in future SV could expand on this, but for now, as of this patch, this is how the flagging system works. So hope that you found this video useful. Please do remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share. So I look forward to seeing you guys next time in my next video. But for now, thank you for watching. This is Fine Gaming Connoisseur. Take care and have a good day.